Hello, everybody. My name is Artur Korycinski, and I would like to welcome you once again to another edition of our Im Studio Music Talk series, presented by the Austrian Cultural Forum Warsaw in partnership with the Unsound Festival. Our two nights very special guest from Vienna is Isabella Forciniti, and our host is Łukasz Warna-Wiesławski, ex-curator from the Unsound Festival, CEO of the Times label, limited edition, super underground label. And I'm really happy to see all of you guys. And Lucas, it's really great to have you back, because last time you couldn't host our session because of cold or some health issues. Right now you look really, really great. And Isabella has an amazing sound live from Vienna. Let's start our show. Let's start our session. Lucas.
Oh, thank you, Artur. Hello, Isabella. So to quickly introduce Isabella, she's a Vienna-based sound artist who mainly works with modular synth, which she will teach us today, and she'll explain the basics, and she'll tell us how to start, give us some tips, and also how to translate the sound later with Ableton, and how to use various plugins that are also very easily available. And Isabella has worked in many fields, worked with radio, with film, has productions. Her track was featured on a Vienna Underground Tracks compilation. She has also released, is it a split or collaboration with Burkhard Stangl? That was also last year. So maybe let's start with the records, because these are two. There's an interesting contrast, because you're part of this Vienna underground, and the record it's a club record with some house tunes, and then in the middle there's your experimental piece. So how did that combine? How are you part of this community?
Hi everyone. First of all, thanks for having me here tonight. I'm extremely happy to share some knowledge and whatever with all of you, who I'm sure is everyone is interested in music and in experiments, and even if it's not like this, I'm happy to share anything I've learned so far. Yeah, I'm from Italy, and I live in Vienna since 4 years now. And yeah, a really interesting question. But essentially, the track that I compose, let's say so, is not a really club tracks, but even if reminds a bit this approach, since I worked a lot with some drum machine and whatever. Yeah, this is also how I approach music, and that what is interesting for me, try to put myself in many different situations. For me, it's way too complicated. Just moving in one room. I need space to explore, to experience something new. And for example, any time that I'm playing a concert, I start from scratch. I don't know anything since 1 hour before the concert, because the concert for me is the opportunity to experiment new stuff. And also when I have to compose, let's say so, it happens exactly the same. The recording with Burkhard Stangl is an Austrian guitarist and composer, and a great improviser. And I would say that actually is my mentor when it comes to improvisation. Yeah, this recording was exactly based on the same approach, so to say. We just meet in the afternoon. We recorded each a solo session, and then we played together. And yeah, I was experimenting a lot with. I played the concert back then using some crazy code on Super Collider, who cares now? And there was I had also a tiny a snare drum, and a snare drum, and the cymbals, which most of the time they are part of my setup. But yeah, it was we agreed that I mean, we were aware that this session would be based on experiment and on improvisation. That's it.
I really like this quote on your website, in your bio, when it seems that it says that your work strives to release streams of thoughts at the margins of the unknown, and I think it's a really nice way to speak about improvisation.
Yeah.
It's like very, very poetic, and I want to know how did you get there? Like, what pushed you into this direction to use those methods?
You know, I'm not interested somehow in music for eternity. You know, I'm like I'm more interested in music for a blink of an eye. That's why improvisation is the most important element in my musical practices, so to say. There are so much composed music, and even myself, if I made a track, is there, you know, will be there forever. And but when you don't know what is gonna come, even me as performer, on a stage, that I don't know how I'm gonna. Maybe I know how I'm gonna start the performance, but I don't know how I'm gonna finish the performance, how I'm gonna develop the textures that I started with. That's why maybe such an this lack of security somehow leads us, at least leads me to such an unknown place, actually. And yeah, I mean, I hope that that I can, how to say, I can transmit such a feeling also to the people who attend my concerts. No.
What was the spark like? Did you get like a synthesizer as a present, or did you just like went to a concert that inspired you? What was the first moment that was like, I want to do this, like I want to get into this world of unknown music and try to find sound?
The first thing was a drum set when I was a teenager, because I was playing in a female punk band in my village in the south of Italy, which is like one of the craziest thing that you can imagine back there, you know. And but yeah, to be honest, my first approach was Max MSP, was coding. I started coding, and you know, I was coding, and I tried, you know, anytime to improve this coding, to be able to perform and improvise with other friends and colleagues. But you know, it was tough. Everything was getting like more organic, and I tried first with a really tiny with a com electronic stuff. It was the only thing that I could buy, because it was the less expensive thing, and from there I've tried to modify any sound coming from anything, most of the time from percussions, but you know, it's in those last years, I grew up pretty much. You know, I've experienced it many different things, and which brought me now to have something more on my setup. Finally, I could buy more than one modular scene, as you know much better than me. It's a crazy expensive world, unfortunately, you know. And but yeah, actually that would be it. And everything's gonna be in 10 years, maybe it's gonna change. Maybe I'm gonna go back to coding, or maybe just playing a piece of wood, who knows.
Okay, so maybe let's see now. What are you doing? What is your setup? We have this live video prepared, so our viewers can get to know your art better. So let's see that.
Yeah, I would like to share a performance I had on Friday with Alexandra Baide, who is a great singer, composer, and performer. Of course, the concert was in streaming, and yeah, let's see, maybe a couple of minutes, and maybe if you agree, we can discuss the approach and everything that happened during the performance. Yup. I'm gonna stop here if you agree. Otherwise, it's gonna be way too long.
I kind of want to listen further. I would like to be in the room and just.
Yeah. Should I?
We can leave the links in the chat.
Okay. Yeah.
So if anyone wants
to
view the whole video, they can just check it out after our session.
Yeah, sure. You're completely right. Well, first of all, it was so complicated to find a place where we could properly rehearse. We actually rehearsed here in my room with tiny loudspeakers.
Oh God!
And it was especially for Alexandra on Friday when we played to visualize and to perceive everything what that electronics were doing now, what everything what I was doing, but yeah, we focused on the construction and construction, which is such a common approach when you make music, when you compose, and especially when you have something to do with electronic music. The construction was for us the the common ground where we started. Where we started, yeah, and I worked with my synthesizers, with my modular synthesizers, building some kind of Euclidean rhythm. I mean, the rhythmical pattern that most of the time were either polymeters or polyrhythmic, and I was alternating the pattern to other percussive material as well. And of course, we didn't see the whole performance, but in the end, we tried to emulate what could be claustration. And so to say, we tried to build a huge charge feeling with kind of bell sounds. And Alexandra was also supported by, she was playing piano and prepared piano, and she was, so to say, answer to kind of bell sounds with bass percussive sound coming from the piano, prepared piano.
Great.
Yeah, that would be everything, I think. Yeah, I mean, we named our performance Collision, Freedom, and Claustration. Mm-hmm. In each section, we tried to translate those feelings.
So maybe we can see now your setup, like you show us like a bit of
yeah, I can maybe
we can start with individual modules maybe, and I don't know if you want to, because you prepared the presentation, I don't know if it relates to the show or we just move on and show the...
No, I can maybe gently introduce modular synthesis, if you agree. Essentially, how to say, no, the initial promise of the electronic music was that you could reproduce any sound that you've ever heard, indeed that you've ever imagined. A modular synthesizer where you put together different blocks or modules to create and modify sounds, helps you to achieve such a goal. It's clear that you can achieve this goal even with virtual instruments, with other synthesizer, and whatever. That's clear. But you know. It's clear that putting them all together, you have a really powerful machine. I would say kind of beast. You can create really complex sounds. Complex sounds from tiny texture to really organic and raw sounds. The modules communicate using the voltage traveling over patch cables. That would be a patch cable that I'm sure that you are familiar with. And yeah, building a block of synthesis, let's say so, requires, first of all, audio sources. Audio sources would be, for example, audio sources are tone generator, essentially an oscillator, for example, a noise generator, and so and etc. An oscillator consists of different kind of wave forms, such as sine wave, sawtooth waves, square one, triangle, pulse, which is a variation of the square one. And once you have a set of harmonics with audio modifiers, you can remove harmonics. You can either remove harmonics or even create new one to fill out the sound. No, and audio modifiers would be filters. A filter, for example. No, with a of course, we are all familiar, I think, with filters. We have the low-pass filter, high-pass, and comp filters, resonator filters, etc. Yeah, the third element, the third important element of the modular synthesis are modulation sources, such as envelope generators, LFO. Envelope generators, for example, create voltage from 0 volt to its maximum. An envelope generator moves over time. On the other end, for example, we have an LFO. With an LFO, we can create repetition or cyclical pattern, and of course, LFO essentially would be means actually a low frequency oscillator. That means that an LFO operates on the lowest frequency range. For example, an oscillator. An LFO is not that different from an oscillator, but you can't hear. It's not audible in LFO. And an oscillator, for example, fluctuate between negative and positive values from 20 to 20,000 cycle per second. No? That means that the range that is audible from human ears. No. Another interesting element of the modular synthesis is the CV, and that would be the control voltage. With the control voltage, for example, you can you can modify the behavior of a module. Let's try just a stupid example like this. You have an idea. I'm gonna modify the pitch of the oscillator here. I have a complex oscillator. I'm gonna just take the output, so to say, from my sequencer, and I'm gonna plug it here. I don't know if you can hear anything.
We can.
Yeah, we got the sound. Yes.
Okay. I mean, I can't. I'm not able to hear so much. I mean, I don't know what is coming from the sequencer, but it's just to have an idea, essentially. But yeah, as you can see, you can hear modify. I don't know what is coming in, but yeah. Essentially, we are. With the CV. I'm modifying the behavior of the oscillator. I'm modifying the pitch, no? And for example, we can send the oscillator through a filter.
Amazing.
yeah, another, for example, all the elements that I've mentioned are the, oh my god, okay, this, sorry. All the elements, audio sources, filters, envelopes, VCA, they are the most important element in the subtractive synthesis. But there are many other kind of approach and synthesis. In my daily practice, FM synthesis is one of the most important element. Actually, what you've heard before is mostly based on FM synthesis. FM synthesis, also known as frequency modulation synthesis, is a technique where the pitch of an oscillator is modified, distorted at audio rate from another oscillator. The result is a complex set of harmonics, which can be perfectly in tune or even reach the realm of noise. For example, all the kind of percussive sound or bell sounds like come from FM synthesis. For example, with my oscillator. My oscillator can be frequency modulated. Here we have, let's make just a quick example, and then after this example, I can show you a better example, so to say, on a virtual instrument. For example, here I have a green oscillator and a yellow one. Let's say that, for example, I would like to distort the pitch of the green one oscillator with the yellow one. The green oscillator would be the carrier. The carrier is essentially the oscillator which is connected to the amplifier, so to say, and the yellow oscillator would be the modulator. So. But when you talk about FM synthesis, you don't say, so to say, oscillator, but you name them as operator. And the original approach, the original FM approach, is based on sine waves. That makes everything extremely complicated to control, as you can imagine. But can you hear now my sine wave?
We have a sound.
Yeah, the sound, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Now wait. I have to turn off everything. Here.
Oh, perfect.
You can hear the sine wave, right?
Because now it's clear. Yeah.
Exactly. Now I'm gonna, so to say, turn to the left this knob to adjust the amount of signal coming from the yellow operator oscillator. Pardon me. And here I I have such a deviation that controls also the amount of linear and exponential FM. There are two different approaches, but for example here I can mix them and create really absurd textures. I can't hear it, but yeah. And let's modify, for example, the amount of the linear deviation with an LFO. No? For example, no, such a and so to say you have kind of tiny sequence, and yeah, it should be legal. Such a sound, such a stuff is already interesting. But as we said before, affording modules is a way to I mean, buying modules is a way too expensive. But I have a tip. There is a Eurorack simulator. The name is VCV Rack. I send you the link.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah, I send you the link. Like this, you can, so to say, improve your skill, or just exploring a new approach. I can share the view of Rack with you as well. Like this, you can see that is actually the same thing. I send you the link, and a Rack would be, where is Rack? Here.
So is this standalone, or do I need like Ableton?
It's a standalone. It's standalone. Yeah. And for example, here I made this patch. I mean that the basic patch consists of the this block here. From here, I don't know if you can see my mouse actually. Can you see my mouse?
Yes, I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, exactly. So yeah, how to say as a default, you have here this block here, no? And most of the modules are for free. You don't have to spend any money. There are a couple of modules that you can buy, but they are around 10 and 30 euros. I mean, not so expensive, but still, you know. Let's see if we can hear anything, because I've done something for Arthur, who is a really great fan of granular synthesis. I've learned.
Leave me alone. We talked a lot about it, but I love modular synths, so.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I just put together something that maybe I can show you. I mean, I'm not sure if let's see if you will able. Okay. Can you hear anything?
Yes.
Yeah, there was a bit of.
I can hear.
Yeah.
It's fun, I must say. So that would be my my tip. If you would like to experiment and experiment with modular synths, as soon as you are not sure if this is your right path, you can start messing around with such a great software. And another software there most of the time I include in my setup is FlowMotion. I don't know if you are familiar with FlowMotion. FlowMotion, fortunately, is not for free, but it costs €30. And I mean, it's not so expensive, but still, you know, FlowMotion. I came to this software thanks to Richard Devine, who designed I don't know many presets. I mean, but yeah, I can maybe show you a couple of stuff that I've made with FlowMotion, which is based, of course, on frequency modulation.
Sure. Perfect. And please send us a link as well to
Oh,
the
yeah.
software.
Of
everyone
course,
will be happy.
yeah,
But we will create everyone can get also the links after the show. If they just email us, they can get it as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Pardon me.
in case someone is missing it during our session, we can always send you all the links later.
Of course, that makes sense. Yeah.
Guys,
here's the link.
Thank you.
And also FlowMotion is an insane virtual instrument. You can really create complex textures and really great stuff. I go to my... I'm not so used to make so much user presets because, as I mentioned before, most of the time I woke up and I patch from scratch my modules, and I start working on new stuff. And since some time I'm strongly distracted, I never save any preset. But fortunately, I recorded the stuff that I make. I mean, I don't know if they would be interesting, but for example, the interesting element of FlowMotion is that you can make different snapshots, and just playing one key, you can have a kind of sequence. But let's see what I've done. Can you hear anything?
Yes.
Yeah. And for example, you can see that just playing one note, the FlowMotion is moving between these two snapshots. That essentially they are almost the same. They are also almost the same as you can see, but here the equalizer on the second, the equalizer is adjusted in another way, as also the filter here. And yeah. And also the quality of sound is pretty well. And let's see if I have another preset that I've made. Huh. I don't know. Ah, yeah, here maybe it's another snapshot. Ah, okay, yeah, such stuff. As you can see here, everything is moving because of the snapshot sequence, for example, and it can be extremely helpful in your practice when you can create more than one texture and sequence just with one instrument. Can be extremely it can support you really, really well, especially if you are in a live situation where maybe you have to react to someone else, or where you have to play for a long time, and you can really develop nice sequences and textures just on one plugin, on one virtual instrument. My other interest actually is on wavetable synthesis. I'm sure that everyone also is familiar enough with this technique. Essentially, yeah, you wavetable synthesis is based on on one single cycle of a wave waveform. No, you store, so to say, an image of a wave. Of a waveform, and you play it back a different speed to achieve, so to say, to reach, so to say, the pitch that you desire, essentially. And another interesting new plugin virtual instrument would be Vital. Vital, you can download it for free, and I send you the link. Vital, so to say, is a spectral warping wavetable synthesizer. Is not so far from other synthesizers such as Serum, Pigments, which are based on the same technique, such as the wavetable. But Vital is a really high quality sound. Is a really great instrument. You can modify anything with many different envelope generator, LFOs, randomize every element, and as also a really cool feature. Let's see. This other cool feature. You can store in the wavetable words. Everybody. You can even choose which language characteristic you can give to your speech, let's say. So I'm gonna let it the English one. Oops. Okay, now it doesn't sound like anything. We can understand anything. I mean, at least I can understand anything. But as I said before, you can here, for example, you can drag an LFO here. The LFO you can draw yourself the LFO, or here there are some other design LFO from the company. I'm gonna do like this envelope. I'm gonna let it like this. It's still sad, I would say.
Sounds like help.
I'm sorry?
It sounds like help.
Yeah,
Like a robot.
I know.
Robots are
But
asking.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
but now
Hi, everybody. Hi,
but now
everybody.
it's much
Hi,
better. Of course,
everybody.
in the lower when you said the pitch.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
And of
Hi,
course,
everybody.
that's such a crazy stuff because you can combine the free oscillators. I've done, I don't know, a couple of stuff here as well. I don't know. I'm gonna play. You can combine different oscillator with a different wavetable in it, and also you can apply. I most of the time in the sample area, I apply kind of white noise to emulate a bit the analog characteristic, because otherwise it's extremely digital sound. But yeah, it's actually is a really interesting instrument that you can improvise with. Let's see what I've done. Yeah, the other interesting element of Vital is that you can with the LFO create a sequence. You can sequences, for example, and I'm gonna just I create a new one from scratch like this. You have an idea. Otherwise, it's oh no. Initialize presets. So I have this bar here. Okay. So just here an example. I'm gonna text. Let's let it here. Maybe as we talk about FM synthesis, maybe I can modify the pitch of this or the behavior of the phase with the second LFO. With the second, oscillator. Okay, and then you can send it to the field. But let's change here a bit the techno, the decay, otherwise we're gonna die soon. So I'm gonna apply here an envelope and an LFO. Maybe let's see what now. Oh my god! You can also make it bipolar. The LFO here, like this, you have movement from both sides. Okay, so let's give the here. I don't know what I'm doing, just doing, but like this you can. Now I'm gonna apply the LFO on the pitch, and you can set the range where the LFO should move. I don't know, I'm just doing like this. Here maybe pulse bit. So, and the other interesting stuff that we would like to have a sequence, we can maybe draw something that reminds us somehow a sequence. Let's make it a 7. Oh no, here. I'm improvising, yeah. I mean, the goal here is actually to show you how the amount. Let's start with a 10%. But not that bad. For example, it's just a stupid example. But why I'm not modified? But let's say is a pleasant. So that would be yeah, this I mean the my daily my daily approach on music, and of course there are other tricks that I usually use with the delay. The delay, where Arthur is extremely happy if I say something about delay.
Finally.
Yeah, the delay, guys. You know, everyone. For example, there is the classic approach on the delay to emulate the tapes. Then you can have this kind of repitching stuff, and then there is the Haas effect, where you have a slight, so to say, movement between the left and right. You perceive, depends how you set it, that you perceive first the left and the right and so on. But actually, I use the delay to make really long, drawn ambient stuff. I can maybe show you how I approach to the delay briefly. Yeah, here maybe I can just choose a really bad sound. Like this, we know how vital. Let's make it. So now we have a really basic sawtooth wave. We said delay. Yeah, the echo one that is in Ableton is an interesting piece of virtual instrument, let's say. So you can go more than 100% when you use the feedback, and you can also here distort the sound that is coming in. And of course, I think that you are already familiar with this stuff. But no, I want to sing. I'm gonna try to give you an idea how I usually approach to the delay when, for example, I decided I would like to make a drawn piece, so to say. So just a really long release, sustained actually. Let's hear. I'm gonna give here some bit of reverb, give space, room. That's the most important thing for us as electronic musician. We have the opportunity to give the audience the space. Now we can work on the left and right, and for me is an extremely important element. So here. So let's see. And you can see as a sawtooth wave with a delay, and adjusting the attack and the sustain and the release. You can really make some great stuff. I mean, this is my of course my experience approaching delay, and yeah. Do we still have time for another trick?
Yes, we have a little bit. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. After the delay, another. Here. Huh? The random MIDI effect. I don't know if you're familiar with the random effect. But, oh my god, this bar here. But I'm sorry, I'm gonna drag the stuff. Oh my god, so many random at once. Oh no. Okay, yeah. So okay, perfect. So randomness is surely another, and at least for me, another vital element in my musical practice, and not only mine, but I'm sure many other musicians over the time approaches to the randomness, and for example, here, Ableton MIDI effect offers a really interesting approach to the randomness. I'm gonna use here like this. We can quickly make a tiny piece. Let's say so. How are they called? Spitfire, the labs, that they are for free. They are sample-based plugin, so to say, and they are not so bad. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of simple-based stuff, but if you have to work for a film or for any kind of production, you can surely use them. Another interesting element in controlling the randomness, in that case, back to the MIDI effect, would be the scale opportunity. So I'm gonna, so to say, force this randomness to move within a determined scale. I'm gonna go for the oh my god, for the Japanese one, the Irayoshi. Where is it? Oh my god. Irayoshi scale, yeah, here. So here I'm just gonna let hear a piano, the first thing that. I'm just playing just one note. But we can maybe, this would be my only note. Ay, mama. Okay, here. I'm gonna drag the lab to the second. I'm gonna choose another sound. Let's go for I'm just improvising. I don't know. I'm gonna go for oh my god. Let's go for a mandolin sound. here I have to back to here, yeah. On the Hirayoshi scale, also here. And the percent of the randomness, you can choose how much randomness would you like to apply on the instrument that you are playing. Okay, now I'm gonna draw here a second knot just like this. Here somewhere. So let's play it now. I'm gonna give some more space here maybe. And for example, I'm not playing anything like somehow like this. You can improve your creativity. For example, when you have a negative, so to say, day, and you can't be creative enough, you can maybe start from the randomness, just playing around in that way. I don't know if we have time enough to make a whole sequence, but maybe I can send you the link to download the labs.
Fantastic.
They are for free, as I said, and they are
Perfect.
accessible. And I don't know, even if you want, I can send you an Ableton section where there is where I used the random MIDI effect together with the Hirayoshi scale and the labs. If you want, like this, you can see, or I can even share it right now to have to listen to it. I don't know if you're interested, but can you hear it? So essentially, this is the random results of my sadness when I can't produce anything that makes sense for me. And yeah, I used here the Hirayoshi scale that I really love. And yeah, that's it actually. I don't know if you want. I can share this Ableton project with you. I don't have any problem.
Yes.
Like this, you have.
This looks really fun to play with and just
yeah, exactly.
Explore.
If you
Everyone
already have
the
yeah, exactly. If you already have the, so to say, the let's say a preset, you can mess around by yourself. Maybe it can be interesting for the other colleagues and participants if they want. I mean, I don't have any problem to share the project.
That's very kind of you.
Sorry, Arthur.
That's very kind. We are looking forward to.
Oh yeah, no worries. And Arthur, I don't know if we have enough time because as we said, I can share some books regarding electronic music and contemporary stuff.
I think this we are slowly finishing our session, and you can that's the message. Our audience can send us question right now. So send them to Michał. But we also promised to talk about the books. So let's if you have some recommendations, it would be lovely.
Yeah, okay. So the first book would be Patch and Tweak from Kim Bjorn and Chris Meyer. It's actually an introduction to modular synthesis, but they also give, so to say, an idea which modules you can buy, so to say. But where are they? I'm just oh no, just 1 second. I'm gonna find the right page like this. Yeah, for example, here now you can see how many modules are described, and you can have maybe a better cleared mind in approaching to the synthesis. The book is also interesting, first of all, because it's forwarded by Susanna Gianni, which is a composer and a musician that I really love, and there are other contributions and interviews with great artists, such as, for example, Caterina Barbieri, Robin Rimbaud, that I really one of my favorite musicians, also known as a scanner. And
Scanner
then
is
there are
genius.
other contributions from Lady Starlight, who is a DJ that works in the field of modular synthesis, and also Panic Girl, Richard Divine. So many different musicians and artists. And it would be patch and tweak. Maybe, Arthur, I can also send you a link with all the books.
We will also incorporate it on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. We will also post
have a list
the whole list.
Okay, yeah, I see. The other second book that for me is extremely inspiring is Hidden Alliances from Elisabeth Schimana, who is an Austrian composer. The book is made by many different contributors coming from female composers, sound artists, radio artists, and such as, I don't know, the Eliane Radic, for example, Anna Fritz, which is a Canadian radio artist, and many others. The other book would be Audio Culture, Readings in Modern Music. You can, from Christian Cox and Daniel Warner. I don't know, maybe you're already familiar with this book. It's really famous.
I have this one. It's
a really a classic really one, let's say so. And you can find contribute for different music approach, from the noise to the minimalism to the DJ culture. And there are, unfortunately, most contributes come from male composer, but there are also female composers that contributed to the book, such as Paulina Olivieros, Susan McClary, and and many others. And there are also the improvised chapters are extremely interesting for who is interested in improvised music. And another one would be that, unfortunately, I didn't get it yet. Would be the one about Mariana Manchea, who is an American composer, and the book is Marianne Amashear selected writing and interviews written by Amy Cimini and Bill Dietz. I'm not sure how to pronounce the surname. And the last but not least book is a sonic writing of Thor Magnusson. This is a great book where you can discover, so to say, how contemporary practice are strong related to the one of the past, and there are many different chapter who describes the approach on artificial intelligence, digital and technology in the music era field. And I know that maybe I bother you way too much, and that would be
this is great.
Absolutely not. I also would like to recommend you a book. I've heard that it's really great. It's I think just out. A friend of mine recommended to me. It's
Yeah.
out in England.
Yeah.
It's called The Monolithic Undertow by Harry Sword. By Harry Sword, and
The
it's basically monolithic undertow, and it's basically the story of drone music in the during the 2000 years of humanity. From primitive
great.
instruments and sacred chants, today's minimalist electronica drone music has a long
That's good.
and mystical history. A new book investigates. So it's really fascinating as it connects dots like Eliane Redig together with Brian Jones's you know, folkloristic local tribal records from Morocco from the 60s, and yeah, stuff like Angus MacLeay's, and yeah, it's really interesting, because I think till today I haven't seen someone trying to connect all these dots, you know, in this special way. So it's very eclectic, and the search for drone starts with, you know, ancient music and didgeridoos, and heads to modern electronica as well. So
I totally agree. There are a couple of piece of I mean, let's think about the Gregorian chants, for example. No?
Exactly, I'm totally
there are
fascinated
some
with
stuff
them.
of Machaut or whoever that are extremely droning, let's say. So
Yes.
really great stuff. That's why I found your tip great. Thank you so much.
You're highly welcome.
Yeah. Okay, Arthur, I don't know if there is any question.
There's actually a question. Zbyszek wants to know, how are you connecting the real modular synth with Ableton, and how much time did it took to learn everything, because it looks complicated?
Yeah, I'm still learning. So I share you briefly Ableton again, like this. You can I should share the project with you too. Let's see how can I'm gonna share it later on when I'm done answering the question. So I have an audio interface. In the input of the audio interface, I plugged the output of my synthesizer. After this first step, I go to the preferences of Ableton, and I, as an audio output device, I choose my interface. And as an output device, you can either choose your interface or your speakers, or whatever. I mean, headphones or another source. After it, I have an RME, Fireface US, which has eight input. My synthesizer is plugged in the third input, so I'm gonna choose the third input. Then is monitor. I'm gonna press the in one, and let's see if I have signal. And we have this. You can hear the signal. So basically, this is the how you connect the synthesizer with Ableton. Usually, to be honest, I prefer to use the synthesizer as pure as possible. Sometimes I just use a reverb to give space, because I still don't have a reverb. I mean, I can't afford one, but I have a couple of digital delay with digital reverb that makes me really happy. how long took me to learn. Actually, I think that, for example, I'm a disaster in electrotechnique. No, but I learned everything by myself. But as you maybe imagine, I read a lot of books, but most of the time I learn something when I'm practicing, so to say, on the instrument. I understand the dynamics through playing around. I spend really a lot of time on my synthesizer. I must be honest, and they are expensive, but they really cost you a lot of time. You need to have time. I mean, every time that I am at the university, most of the time I have my synthesizer with. Now, of course, Corona time, as everything it's not possible to access to any studio, but every time I have a pause, for example, I go to the studio, the university, I patch a bit my synthesizer, and just maybe make a tiny improvisation. I mean, I think that behind every kind of knowledge, there is always a lot of practice, and yeah, I mean, as I said, I'm still learning, and I'm glad that every day I can discover something new. No. And that's the most exciting thing in doing what I'm doing. I hope that I could answer to your question. You're welcome. I share you the Ableton project with you, and then I don't know. Maybe we should. That's it for today. Or Arthur,
Is
I
Arthur still
can't hear you.
He's muted.
You are muted.
I'm already unmuted. Thank you so much, Isabella, for this highly interesting music talk. I am super fascinated with as you know, with delays, and I used to dream about modular synth, but I couldn't afford it back in the days, and now I will try maybe with the plugins and see how far I can go with my experiments. And Łukasz, thank you for hosting.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. I've also learned a lot. So
I think it was a very very valuable music talk we had today. Thank you to all the people watching us. If you want to ask us any questions, just send us an email to afkwawmusik@gmail.com, afkwawmusik@gmail.com. That's the email where you can register to our sessions. Our next session will be with Rosa Anschütz, I think on the 24th, right?
24th, yeah.
Of March.
Exactly next month.
Exactly. And you will post also something right now on our Zoom chat.
Yeah,
I
shared
Isabella?
the Ableton project
that
I hope that you can open.
Yes.
You
I'm
have
opening...
to download it first and then open it. Otherwise, you won't have it in your folder.
I have it. I just downloaded it. It's all perfect. It's in my downloads. So guys, download it in case I have it on my computer, and I can send it to you as well.
Yeah, and anytime you need any, I don't know, for the future, anytime. Oh, thank you, Michael. Thank you. But anytime you need anything, you can contact me on social or on socials or wherever. I mean, I'm always
lovely.
Everyone is always welcomed. And I love sharing stuff.
As
you noticed,
so much.
maybe.
This is not that often that artists share that much as you do. So we really, really appreciate it. And we hope that we hope to have you back soon. And,
Yeah. Maybe in October I'm gonna play in Krakow.
Oh,
I have a
beautiful.
project together with Sosha Bukulova. I'm sorry, maybe I'm pronouncing the name not so well. For Unsound Festival.
Oh,
should be.
really? Oh,
Yeah. She's
fantastic.
preparing a huge composition.
You're talking about Zosia Hołubowska.
Oh my God! Yes, yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
sure.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
My pronunciation was really a
Yes.
disaster. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly.
I've heard about it. Yes, we will also. Yes, I can't wait to hear more about this new concept of Zosia, and I'm glad that you are also on board.
Yeah,
great
exactly.
news,
I'm
Isabella.
also involved, and I'm so excited.
That's lovely.
Yeah. That's maybe that would be an opportunity.
Oh,
to...
that's an opportunity. So we keep in touch, and we speak soon, and we will, yes, as always, we will upload our session in an edited version of our session in a couple of weeks. So watch our Im Studio YouTube channel via Electric Austrian Cultural Forum Warsaw. That's it.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, everyone, for your attention, and I wish you a lovely evening, and hopefully see you soon.
Absolutely. See you soon. All the best.
Ciao,
Thank you,
ciao,
guys.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.